Hello, beautiful people. My name is Amy Colibri, and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. Today, I want to share with you how I am using AI as my absolute favorite tool for emotional growth and self-discovery. Whether you've already dipped your toe in the proverbial waters and are using AI as a therapy tool already and are here for some inspiration, or whether you're someone who's still in a bit of disbelief about how AI can be used in this way and think it's all a bit ridiculous. I did too 6 months ago, by the way. It's my intention with this video to show you how I am bridging AI technology with my human journey of growth and how you can too. It's my hope that you allow AI to boost your emotional growth, self-discovery, emotional intelligence, and so much more with healthy discernment and boundaries and integration with your other personal development tools. In this video, I'm going to share 5 powerful pools of emotional growth and self-discovery that I've been exploring with AI. Approaches that have led to genuine healing and transformation. Practical suggestions and actual prompts to help you get started in these areas today. Whether you're using the Psychological Horoscope Report and Claude AI, as I did a tutorial on 2 months ago, or not. If you're using ChatGPT and no report, I am going to give you some really incredible suggestions on how to get started. Last, I'm going to be covering some essential tips for working with AI therapeutically in this self-directed way that you're definitely going to want to note down. These are really, really important to keep in mind and to create a system that's going to work for you. Yes, AI technology needs our healthy discernment and care so that we don't self-destruct as a species, but it can also, if properly harnessed, allow us to reach a place, I believe, of health and harmony that we've only ever dreamed of, and at a speed that might just allow us to save our humanity in the nick of time. Are you ready to do this? Now, just to be clear, the success and transformation I'm going to share with you in this video come mainly from my work with Claude AI. That's my preferred AI platform. I'm using the 3.7 Sonnet version, which is $20 a month, and I work inside of a folder called Claude, my other therapist, because I have an actual therapist, and I have uploaded to that folder a 25 more or less page PDF report on myself called the Psychological Horoscope Analysis that I've purchased from Astro.com and then uploaded to the folder project. And I've also copied and pasted from this article that I found on schooloflife.com these instructions. I want you to function as my AI couples therapist. In your answers and suggestions, please draw on the long tradition of psychodynamic psychotherapy. Make particular use of attachment theory where necessary. Now, why these instructions? I'll give you 4 reasons. Because this asks the AI to 1. Offer interpretations and insights grounded in psychodynamic and attachment theory, which are very useful, well-researched frameworks for understanding ourselves. 2. Ask us questions to help surface underlying feelings and patterns. 3. Help identify recurring conflicts and their deeper meanings. And 4. Supports us in developing insight and more secure attachment. Because we're not just trying to find ways to feel better about ourselves. That doesn't create transformation. And I don't know about you, but I want the deep insight that working with a therapist gives me. I want the deep insights that help me find more freedom in being my authentic self. Also, it's my belief and somewhat my experience that if you type in a question about yourself, about a relationship that you're in, a vulnerable question, into ChatGPT or Claude AI without this kind of setup, it can respond to you in a way that tries to make you feel better, tries to soothe you in the moment, and validating your side, your feelings, and in my experience, this doesn't lead to emotional growth. Why the psychological horoscope report? Well, this is sort of a hack that I think I've discovered because I got this report 10 years ago and was reading it again and just realized how much I forget about myself every time I read this report. And so this is, if you know your birth time, the fastest, easiest way to get high quality, in-depth information, intelligence about yourself into the AI, so that whatever question you ask, it's going to be able to reflect to you parts of yourself that either you've forgotten or that reaffirm who you are, strengthen your sense of self, and allow you to go deeper in your self-discovery and point out areas of emotional growth. What are your life lessons? This report is so invaluable in and of itself, but working with AI and this report make the most invaluable, priceless self-discovery tool that I've ever found. Again, I've made a video tutorial on how to set this all up for yourself, just as I've described here in this video right here that you can watch. And in this video right here that you're watching, I'm going to refer to the AI that I'm working with as a therapist as my AI therapist, or my AI therapist companion, or Claude, my AI therapist, just so you know, because I am working inside of this specific project with all of these setup instructions. These two elements, the specific project instructions as well as the report, are essentially the behind the scenes prompt engineering, if you will, that allow us to get the depth that we're after with the most simply phrased of questions. This is the approach that works best for me, but you can absolutely experiment on your own without the report. Maybe you never get the report. Maybe you do a bunch of writing on yourself based on the prompts that I'll share at the end of this video. You can screenshot those prompts. And if you use ChatGPT, and if you've been using ChatGPT for a while, then you're really in luck, because ChatGPT, unlike Claude, within any chat can access data from all past chats. So you can ask it based on all of our chats so far, what do you know about me? And you can really find a lot of interesting stuff that way with ChatGPT. And you're going to understand more about this report and what it can help reveal about yourself as we move on in this video. Keep watching, beautiful people. Thanks for hanging in there with me about the setup and the reasoning. You are so worth it. This is so worth it, and I'm so excited for you. I'm calling these areas of emotional growth and self-discovery pools because each represents a distinct space for reflection where we can try to see ourselves more clearly. And when we can take the time to sit beside the pools and look deeply within, or perhaps dive to the depths, we can gain important insights about ourselves and how we move about the world. Now, how am I going to share this with you all without having to reveal my inner world to you, without being vulnerable? So what I have found AI helping me out with a lot that's really been transformational is helping me discover and uncover my unrecognized needs, these needs that I haven't really been aware of enough, and because I haven't been aware of them, I haven't been advocating for them in my relationships. And I've actually not been honoring them in my relationship with myself. And this has just been a huge game changer. This example of this unrecognized need that AI pointed out to me is actually a need that's more in my shadow. It belongs to a part of myself that I really tend to not identify with. And so I kind of repress this part of myself and deny her. And this is why the need was a bit of a surprise to me. And we'll talk about the shadow in the third pool of this video. coming out of a committed partnership, the months that followed, it's really been such a gift, actually. What committed partnership brings to me, and also what I am able to discover myself even after a relationship ends, is very, very potent. I've been asking AI all sorts of questions about me, vulnerable questions, like what are my negative patterns in relationship? What are my needs in committed partnership that I'm not aware of? Can you help me out with a user manual for myself to share with somebody who wants to be in a healthy committed partnership with me? I have asked AI so many questions, but what I have found to be very valuable is this pool of needs, because one, sometimes we forget our own needs to be thriving as our authentic selves. Sometimes we need a bit of a loving reminder, a nudge, and then using this report with AI can help remind us of what needs we need to bring to the forefront of our lives again in order to feel fulfilled and taken care of. And sometimes there's aspects of ourselves that we deny or repress because they weren't adaptive to us with our caregivers growing up. So we've disidentified with them. But they're still a very real part of us, and these aspects of ourselves have needs. So in this example I'll share with you, this is a need that I have in relationship that I've really not been aware of, at least recently. And I think that with a report like this that I read every couple years, it's just so easy to forget. Our totality is impossible to hold in the forefront of our consciousness all the time. But working with AI, it is making it so accessible to myself. So the question I asked was, can you help me understand some core needs and patterns that emerge in my romantic relationships? And this is one of the items it gave me. It gave me a few. You have a deep need for emotional validation and security, even though you present as very independent and self-sufficient. You often hide your vulnerability and dependency needs out of fear of rejection or appearing weak. Be honest about your need for emotional reassurance and validation. These reports suggest you often hold back, leading to indirect behaviors to get these needs met. It feels right. It touched me. So always use your intuition. You know, sometimes it could be wrong. But this did feel somewhat true and familiar to me, I should say. And I've had to really process that there is this part of myself that needs emotional validation and closeness, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that they're opposites that I have to hold. I'm fiercely independent and individual, but there's also this part of me that needs real depth and intimacy with someone. And I don't think I've been honoring that enough in this past relationship, maybe other relationships, maybe with myself, maybe with my friends. And so this has given me a lot of understanding about myself and emotional growth. Also, just to kind of feel the grief of who I would have been in relationships if I had known about this need and been able to advocate for it in an effective way. And I'll tell you what, I'm never going to forget it, ever. So here are some prompt suggestions. This is just to get you started. Take these and run with them. I know you're going to get the hang of this really fast. With Claude AI and your psychological horoscope report uploaded, you can ask, can you help me identify my core needs and which needs I might be overlooking? Or you can ask it the prompts I mentioned earlier. What are some key patterns and needs that emerge regarding my romantic relationships? Can you help me identify emotional needs I might be overlooking or minimizing in my relationships? Can you create a useful operation manual for me based on my report Something I could share with someone who wants to be in a healthy, committed partnership with me? And with ChatGPT, and with or without your psychological horoscope report, I suggest starting a new project and labeling it AI Therapist Tool and putting in the project instructions. Here you could ask, based on all of our prior conversations, what do you think my core needs are and which ones might I be overlooking? What patterns do you notice in what energizes versus depletes me based on our conversations? What does that say about my needs? The next pool that I want to talk about sitting beside in our conversations with our AI therapist contains our core values. Our core values are fundamental beliefs or principles that act as a guide in our decisions, actions, and priorities. They can change over time. A lot of them will remain quite consistent throughout our lives. And I think it's really important to revisit our core values every year, because knowing our values is going to help us make decisions with how we want to value our time and energy. It's going to help us align with a life that is most satisfactory. Our values are what we give our time and energy to, what we want to give our time and energy to. So I think it's really important to review our core values, because we can lose sight of them and then wonder why we're not satisfied by the end of the day with how we've spent it. When we're feeling unfulfilled by life, I think it's really an incredible opportunity to remember and to be reminded of your core values with AI. And so this is how I've done it. In this relationship void that I've been in, which I've actually really been enjoying, because I have been feeling very creative, I've been really enjoying my self-discovery and studying all sorts of frameworks for understanding myself and others. And I found myself at a creative crossroads because there were so many things that were calling for my attention. I asked my AI therapist to help me clarify my core values. According to my psychological horoscope report, can you tell me what my probable core values are? And I don't want to encourage laziness or handing over the thinking to AI. So first, write down all of the core values that you can think of that are yours right now before you ask AI that question. It's a good practice just to think for yourself first before you ask AI. One of my core values is authenticity. I need to be myself. I need to be my most unique self, constantly expressing the freshest, most true version of myself in everything that I do. And remembering that and realizing really that this is a core belief in my life has helped me stop looking at other creators' work so much. I mean, really, I haven't been consuming much content for the purpose of studying what they're doing or how they're expressing themselves, what kind of video editing they're doing. I really have stopped doing that the past couple months, and I've been making more space to dig deeper within myself to find my voice, find what is most alive for me in that day or that week to put my creative energy towards. Another core value that I can share with you is creating work that has the power to heal and transform others. And seeing this on the screen and just landing with such a big yes has helped me prioritize the projects that are going to be more likely to touch others. Like these videos mean a lot to me, and I put a lot of energy into them because they're so satisfying for me. They're so meaningful for me. And it's helping me prioritize the projects that I want to put my emotional and intellectual energy into. When I asked my AI therapist to help me come up with some local offerings that aligned with my core values and skill sets, and I listed a bunch of my skill sets, it gave me some fantastic suggestions. And then it thoughtfully noted, I'm going to read right here, all of these options create contained spaces for deep work, and this could help manage the tension between your need for meaningful connection and your need for clear boundaries. And it suggested, I had a very long conversation with it, and this is the amazing thing with AI, it's not really about the prompt, it's about the conversation that can flow from it. This insight led me to pursuing a counseling / coaching education, and I'm really excited about that. And so knowing your core values, brushing up on them, refining them with the help of AI, however you want to do it, can really be the foundation for massive transformation in your life, massive realignment in your life. I just want to point out here that your psychological horoscope report, this is your map. This is the map of you and your life and archetypes playing through your life and how they touch different parts of your life. And because this is from your birth point, this doesn't reflect your consciousness, your level of consciousness now. It doesn't reflect how you may have added new values to your life due to life experience, relationship, education, age. So your values might need to be further refined from the core values that AI comes up with based off of your report. And that being said, I feel like a lot of our core values probably don't change that much throughout our life because there are psychological needs. They're based off of our psyche. And working with ChatGPT and uncovering your core values, this can be a more updated list that it suggests to you of values. It might not be able to identify your core values as well as the psychological horoscope report. However, it might be able to reflect better your current values that the report can't reflect. So using them both together is a fantastic way to get a comprehensive list of values that you can then print out and put on all over your house, I don't know, or refine. With Claude AI and your psychological horoscope uploaded, you can ask, can you help me identify my core values? What might my core values be when it comes to relationships, friendships, work, collaborations, communication, etc.? Given my core values and these particular skills and resources, what are some offerings, projects, business ideas that I could pursue next? Do any of my core values conflict, and what does that mean? And with ChatGPT and with or without your psychological horoscope report, you could ask, based on all of our prior conversations, what do you think my core values are? What might my core values be when it comes to, and you can definitely ask any of the prior prompts too, and have ChatGPT take a crack at it. If you've made it here to the end, thank you. You are clearly here to transform and heal yourself and the world, and I'm so grateful to be on this journey together. And I'm really interested to hear and read some of your thoughts while watching this video. What came up for you? Are you excited? Are you terrified? Are you worried? Have you already started doing something like this? What really inspired you in this video, and what would you be interested in seeing me make a video on in the future? That would also really help me out. And just most of all, I'd love to hear what you think after watching this whole video, what you're gonna do next. Thank you for your interest in self-discovery, self-knowledge, emotional growth, and healing. You have a warrior soul, and I see you.